In the 2000s, it girls carried oversized Louis Vuitton bags, wore huge sunglasses, and rocked knee-high boots. It was a deliciously extravagant era. Paris Hilton, the Olsen twins, Victoria Beckham, they all seemed to live a life of endless glamour. But then, suddenly, everything changed. Bags got smaller, sunglasses shrank, and flashy displays of wealth gave way to the old money aesthetic. Coincidence? Not at all. Fashion always follows money. When the economy is booming, trends become maximalist, extravagant, and full of excess. But when financial crises hit, luxury turns discreet. This happened in the 1930s after the stock market crash, in 2008 with the housing crisis, and it's happening again now. What does this mean? The way you dress communicates much more than just your personal taste. It reveals how you position yourself in the financial world. And there's more. Have you ever noticed that truly wealthy women don't walk around covered in logos? Meanwhile, those who want to appear rich are often decked out in brand names from head to toe. This isn't random. There's a psychological and social reason behind it. And believe me, understanding this logic can completely change the way you dress and even how others perceive you. I'm Carol, passionate about fashion, elegance, and etiquette. And today we're going to talk about the relationship between fashion and money, sharing what no one has ever told you about it. And if you want to become a sophisticated traveler, avoid international faux pas and always stand out with elegance. Check out my ebook, Travel Elegantly, Global Etiquette for the Sophisticated Traveler. The link is in the first pinned comment. And if you want more success, more class, and even to turn your elegance into something profitable, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit the like button. Because this kind of knowledge makes a real difference in the life of an elegant and intelligent woman like you. The hemline rises, the market falls, how fashion and the economy dance together. In 1929, the New York Stock Exchange crashed, and with it, the extravagance of the Roaring Twenties collapsed as well. Fringe, short dresses, and flashy accessories gave way to more discreet and austere pieces. It was almost as if fashion was mourning the economy. But here's the fascinating part. Decades later, researchers at the University of Michigan developed the hemline index, a theory suggesting that when the economy is thriving, skirts get shorter. When it's struggling, they get longer. It sounds like a joke, but it actually makes sense. In the 1960s, during the peak of post-war economic growth, Marie-Quant's miniskirts dominated the streets. By the 1970s, with the oil crisis and rising unemployment, maxi skirts and bell-bottom pants made a comeback. More recently, in 2008, with the global financial crisis, fashion runways began showcasing more conservative hemlines again. Coincidence? Or does our wardrobe always reflect the state of our bank accounts? But why does this happen? Because fashion isn't just about aesthetics. It reflects what people feel and experience. When money is flowing, clothes are bold, vibrant, and eye-catching. When uncertainty looms, the trend shifts toward discretion. And here's an intriguing detail. This shift doesn't just apply to general fashion trends, but also to how the rich and those aspiring to be rich choose to dress. The cycle of fashion and wealth. Why fashion predicts crises before economists. In 2008, the financial world collapsed. Banks failed, real estate values plummeted, and millions lost their jobs. While economists scrambled to predict what would happen next, fashion had already sent a clear message months before. Midi skirts made a strong comeback. Coincidence? Not at all. The hemline index, a theory created in 1926, suggests that skirt lengths follow the mood of the economy. Boom years bring daring miniskirts. Crisis years see hemlines drop to the ankles. But here's the part most people overlook. This connection isn't just symbolic, it follows a market-driven logic. When the economy is thriving, people want to spend. Optimism is reflected in fashion. More skin, bolder styles, more sparkle. But when money gets tight, the instinct for self-preservation kicks in. Fashion becomes more reserved, discreet, and practical. And this doesn't apply just to skirts. If hemlines rise and fall with economic shifts, handbags follow a similar pattern. Think back to the 2000s. A time of economic growth and unrestrained consumerism, bags were enormous. It was the era of the Louis Vuitton Speedy, the Chanel Grand Shopping Tote, and the Fendi Spy Bag. The bigger, the better. Then came the 2008 crisis, and suddenly, bags shrank. It girls started carrying smaller, more structured, and understated handbags. The microbag trend, like the Jacquemus Le Chiquito, surged right after economic instability. Why? Because when money disappears, priorities shift. Oversized, flashy bags symbolize a spendthrift, expansive lifestyle, while smaller accessories project an image of discretion and caution. Does this mean you should toss your big bags and rush to buy a clutch? Of course not. But understanding these shifts can help you determine the right moment to invest or save, and even position yourself more strategically in your career and social circles. After all, if fashion predicts economic trends, those who learn to interpret it can stay ahead of the game. Because this isn't just about clothes. It's about knowing how to play the game. When the party's over, the wardrobe speaks first. Every party comes to an end. In 2008, the world learned that lesson the hard way. The optimism of previous years vanished, money dried up, and suddenly, reckless spending lost its appeal. But before economists officially declared a crisis, fashion had already sent the warning signs. Store windows started displaying neutral tones, less flashy designs, and an overall sense of restraint. This wasn't the first time. In the 1920s, women were reveling in the jazz age, endless parties, newfound independence, rising hemlines, shimmering fabrics, and a booming demand for shoes and stockings. Then came 1929. The stock market crashed, and with it, skirt lengths dropped. Vibrant colors were replaced with somber tones, fabrics became heavier, and fashion declared, "The party is over." The wardrobe always predicts the collapse. James Laver, one of fashion's most renowned historians, once said that clothes tell the story before history unfolds. And he was right. If you analyze major economic crises, you'll notice that before they explode, fashion has already begun to shift. In the 2000s, the world was in a consumerist frenzy. It was the era of over-the-top luxury, giant handbags, glitzy embellishments, sky-high heels. But months before the 2008 crash, brands like Celine and The Row started embracing minimalism, neutral colors, and impeccably tailored pieces. It was almost as if fashion had predicted the storm ahead. Why does this happen? Because consumer behavior changes before people even realize it. The fear of instability makes extravagance feel out of place, and fashion, always attuned to economic shifts, reacts accordingly. What does this mean for you? If understanding economics can help you make money, understanding fashion can help you predict where that money is headed. Clothes are not just fabrics and cuts. They are a social thermometer. If glitz is disappearing from store windows, accessories are shrinking and designs are becoming more understated, you can bet something is happening in the financial market. Fashion anticipates crises, and those who know how to read these signs always stay one step ahead. After all, while many people are still spending as if the party will never end, the elegant woman is already preparing for what comes next. The cycle repeats. What is fashion telling us now? History has already proven that fashion and money go hand in hand. The curious thing is that, even knowing this, many people are still surprised when they see drastic shifts in clothing styles, without realizing that the answer lies in economic trends. Let's look at a recent example. 2020. The world came to a halt, consumer spending plummeted, and fashion entered a containment mode. Suddenly, everyone was in sweatpants, neutral tones, and functional clothing. The luxury market slowed down, and brands that once thrived on excess started selling more discreet and practical pieces. But as soon as the economy began to recover, fashion transformed once again. From sweatpants to sparkles, what happened? In 2022 and 2023, as people returned to normal life, fashion exploded with vibrant colors, sequins, and bold designs. It was the era of dopamine dressing, a trend that embraced cheerful colors to boost mood. And it wasn't just about aesthetics. Brands like Valentino, Bottega Veneta, and Balmain heavily invested in this look to match the market's optimism. But now comes the big question: what's next? Fashion is shifting again. The over-the-top maximalism is fading, making way for quiet luxury. Neutral pieces, premium materials, and impeccable tailoring have dominated the most recent runway shows. Coincidence? Not at all. The financial market is already showing signs of instability. And as always, fashion sensed it before anyone else. What can you do with this information? Reading fashion trends is about more than just picking a stylish outfit. It's about understanding what's happening in the world before the news even breaks. If store windows start phasing out extravagant styles and favoring more understated pieces, take note, cautious times are coming. What is fashion trying to tell you now? That we're still figuring out. But one thing is certain. Those who pay attention to these changes are never caught off guard. So now you know, fashion and money always move together. When the economy is booming, looks get bolder. When it crashes, fashion retreats, fakes modesty, and convinces everyone that less is more. And the most fascinating part? This cycle has repeated for centuries, yet so many people still fall for it. How can you use this to your advantage? Understanding what fashion is communicating is essential, but knowing how to apply that to your personal style is what will truly set you apart from those who blindly follow trends. And this is where another secret of truly elegant women comes into play: the power of quiet luxury. If fashion and wealth are connected, how do some women exude status without flaunting logos? What makes a woman instantly recognizable as high class without her saying a single word? If you want to learn how high-class women master quiet elegance, and how you can do the same, I have the perfect video for you. The High-Class Women's Secret to Quiet Elegance. Click on it once you're done here. Now tell me, which piece of clothing represents power and wealth to you? Write it in the comments with the phrase, "Fashion always follows money." I'd love to see your answers. And of course, if you want more success, more class, and to learn how to turn your elegance into something profitable, hit subscribe and leave a like. Because knowledge like this isn't just about style, it's about how you position yourself in the world. For truly elegant pieces, check out the first pinned comment where I've linked some amazing affiliate products. Take a look.